Hotel room. Zhuxi was startled. She actually mentioned baby in her dream. Oh my god. Zhuxi bit her bright red lower lip with her pearly teeth. Is there something I missed in my dream? Zhuxi wanted to slap herself. She actually talked such nonsense in her sleep in front of Fu Nancheng. Did she want Fu Nancheng to discover the secret of her pregnancy? Zhuxi's heart beat faster because she felt guilty and was afraid that he would discover her secret. However, now is a good opportunity to test whether he wants this child. She looked at the handsome face in front of her with clear, watery eyes. It was just a dream. Besides, if I really had a child with you, would you want it? The man in front of me has sharp features and is handsome. His every move and gesture exudes the demeanor of a wealthy tycoon. He has a look that all women like. Even if he looks heartless, it still makes people want to throw themselves into the flame. Fu Nancheng pursed his lips, then said a few words in a cold voice. That's a useless question. I don't like kids anyway. He doesn't like children. This answer was a tactful way of telling her that if he knew she was pregnant, he would definitely ask her to have an abortion. But I like it. What I do? Even if he can't accept having a child suddenly, what about Lu Yao? I won't use a child to separate them. Fu Nancheng stepped forward, got close to her, and sprayed his hot breath on her fragile skin. Why did you suddenly dream about this? Do you like children, or do you just miss me? As he spoke, he leaned over, covered her snow-white earlobe, and asked in a hoarse voice. Fu Nancheng's eyes were dark and hot, as if two clusters of red flames were burning in them. Zhuxi paused for a moment, then instantly understood what he meant. She curled her red lips and smiled. I almost forgot that even though Mr. Fu doesn't like children, that doesn't stop him from having one. So do you want to? Fu Nancheng's big hand fell on her slender waist. Fearing that she was too delicate and would cry out in pain, he gently held her in his arms and asked, I don't quite understand what you mean, Mr. Fu. Aren't you going to marry Lu Yao? Or do you want to imitate Huang and Envying and take us both to your room? When mentioning Lu Yao, Fu Nancheng's eyes darkened a little, but this time he did not let her go. Zhuxi raised her little face and looked at him. I know you're not that kind of person, so please don't mention it again. In fact, it is normal for a man like him to have such thoughts. For men with money and power, women are just their accessories. But she still felt strange that he thought so. He is not that kind of man. I'll go back to my room first. Please contact me regarding the competition. She turned around and left, wanting to go back to her room, but Fu Nancheng grabbed her slender arm and stopped her from leaving. Wait! Fu Nancheng didn't say anything for a moment, just looked at her, trying to see what she was thinking. Only now did Zhuxi notice that he was holding a bag in his hand, and he handed the bag to her. Take this, I bought it on the way. Okay. Zhuxi hesitated for a moment, then took his bag and left the room. Fu Nancheng let her go and lay down on the soft big bed. He and Lu Yao have been childhood sweethearts. Since Lu Yao's mother, Zhuxi, had been very kind to both his mother and him, he knew from a young age that the little princess of the Lu family was the one he would protect for the rest of his life. He doted on Lu Yao very much, but due to the age difference between them, he treated her more like a younger sister. He and Lu Yao had never been in a relationship, never dated, and certainly never had any romantic affairs. It was not until he met Zhuxi that he realized that love could be so torturous. He couldn't help it. He had never thought that he would become such a man. Don't want me. But you came to mess me up again. If only I knew this would happen. I would have fallen into his hands. This bed had been slept in by her and the fragrance remained, and it immediately became a high bed with soft pillows. Fu Nancheng stroked, then gently twisted the soft mattress with his fingertips, as if it were the soft and delicate skin of a woman. Realizing what he was doing, Fu Nancheng curled his lips and felt like a pervert. I'm so upset. It was clearly him who proposed the breakup first. Who are you showing this to now? Zhuxi returned to her room next door and slowly opened the paper bag. Inside the bag was a string of candied haws. Did he go out to buy her candied haws? It is not easy to buy a string of candied haws abroad. The red candied haws, covered with crystal clear sugar coating, looked sour and sweet, which whetted her appetite. That day, her small bag of snacks fell into his office. He saw a lot of sour and sweet candied fruits in it and kept it in mind. How? Today, seeing that she had no appetite, he drove out and bought it for her. It took an hour to get from the hotel to Chinatown by taxi. Did you notice that my appetite is bad? Zhuxi was still standing silently in the corridor and took a small bite of the candied haws. In fact, she didn't need him to buy things for her, and she didn't need him to be nice to her anymore because she wouldn't be a mistress. Unfortunately, no matter how good you are to me, I will never be with someone else's man. Before, when they were both unmarried, she could be with him, but from the moment he chose Lu Yao, her relationship with him was over and there was no possibility anymore. The next day, hotel corridor. The competition was about to begin. The 7-member competition team had already come downstairs and was waiting for her. Zhuxi took the information bag and went out. Damn it, I'm dead. I woke up late. We agreed to meet at 8:01. Boss, look at that. That woman is so beautiful. While running in the corridor, I suddenly met a few men. Eh? Go and check the situation? These men are tall and strong, and they are obviously natives of Country Z. The man in the front has a tattoo on his arm, so he should have some influence in the local area. I knew when I saw her yesterday, I knew the boss would be interested. She's a foreigner and has no connections here. He immediately stared at Zhuxi. They communicated in the local language. Isn't that perfect? The boss is really lucky. They look like local thugs. I should stay away from them. Zhuxi didn't want to provoke these people. The most feared thing when abroad was to offend local snakes. What happened? Why is he following me? Moreover, they were here to compete and there couldn't be any accidents. Zhuxi left quickly. However, the men followed her. As soon as they saw Zhuxi, they immediately moved, especially the tattooed man who was leading the group. He immediately held Zhuxi. Beautiful, walk slowly. I want to get to know you. Zhuxi had a headache and was trying to find a way to get rid of these people. Let me go! But at that moment, someone came from the elevator and saw the strange scene in front of him. It was Fu Nancheng. Zhuxi? At this moment, she saw the handsome and noble figure of Fu Nancheng in front of her. Zhuxi quickly shouted. Her sad face looked like she was asking for help, and Zhuxi called out sweetly, "Hubby, why did you only come now?" Fu Nancheng froze. He didn't expect that the girl would rush over to him and call him husband so early in the morning. Look, hubby, when you're not around, people dare to bully me. Zhuxi winked as she spoke. Fu Nancheng raised his handsome eyelids and saw the men who had been following Zhuxi. Fu Nancheng's handsome face suddenly turned cold. He stood in front of Zhuxi, and his deep voice was as cold as a sharp blade. Don't worry, it's okay. Let go! Fu Nancheng stretched out his hand, grabbed the man's hand to release it, and pulled Zhuxi to his side, then looked at the bad guy arrogantly. Ah! Zhuxi looked at these people with a cold gaze, and then cast her clear eyes on Fu Nancheng's handsome face. The corners of his narrow eyes were already stained with a murderous scarlet. Okay, I'm going now! He reached out and held Zhuxi's soft waist, holding her in his arms, and took her to the elevator. The elevator came, and Fu Nancheng hugged her into the elevator. He looked up, and his narrow eyes, as deep as a cold pond, fell on the men. The elevator is overloaded. Please take the next elevator. He looked at them calmly, and the elevator door slowly closed. Zhuxi looked up at Fu Nancheng. Thank you, Mr. Fu. You can let me go now. I helped you, and you just said thank you. There is no other way? Fu Nancheng pulled the corner of his lips. If he hadn't seen that she hadn't come down for a long time and was worried, so he came up to check on her, she would be in danger now. It really attracts men. Next episode preview. Why are these people so haunting? Zhuxi looked up and saw those men in front of her. The one in the front was the tattooed man. These people were really haunting. Zhuxi looked up at Fu Nancheng. Then what should we do? As he spoke, he leaned over, covered her snow-white earlobe, and asked in a hoarse voice, Aren't you feeling pretty good this morning? Call my hubby, come closer, and feed me. Fu Nancheng raised his eyebrows, revealing a mature and evil charm. Susi's face turned red. She had no choice but to call him husband in the morning.